Hi out there, it is Beginner Basics Core Training and Spinal Mobility Week 3. We're going to challenge a little bit more today. And remember that even though the exercises may be challenging for you, they are not very long and we're not going to do many repetitions. I have a chair just in case some people don't like to kneel or sit down on the mat, so you can use the chair just in case. What we're going to start with is a little bit of breathing and then find our spine and move through the core and some mobility through that entire spine. Sitting up nice and tall, and again, you can be on a chair. I want you to relax the shoulders, taking a big breath in through the nose, and on the exhale, flexing forward. And you're gonna just allow this kind of shoulder and neck area to relax and lengthen out just a touch. We're gonna stay here and take a couple of breaths. So I want you to breathe in through the nose and try to expand that rib cage. And as you breathe out, let go of some of that neck and shoulder tension and kind of force that air out. We're gonna do that again. Inhaling deeper and wider into the rib cage, trying to relax those shoulders. Forced exhale again, starting to wake up that center. So drawing that belly button in slightly. Take one more big breath in. And on the exhale, we're gonna build it back up to sitting nice and tall. So if you're sitting on a chair, you're gonna now come down to your mat, moving yourself down into what I call home base. So it's a natural curve, our neutral spine. Arms are resting down beside you. Taking a breath in, we're gonna tilt the pelvis back, what we call imprint in Pilates, making sure that your glutes and your feet aren't activated, you're not pushing into the mat. We're gonna breathe in here, and then return back to a natural curve. So you're rolling back onto your tailbone. Taking a breath in again. Let's come up to a bridge position. So press into your feet, squeeze your glutes right away, and lift the pelvis. Now this is not about how high you can get. We want to create this line from the shoulders to the knees in a nice straight length, and using those glutes. Feet are flat, we take a breath in, and again, taking that whole spine in a natural curve back to the mat, hitting your tailbone. Inhale again. Move into imprint, so that tilt happens again, breathing out. Let's stay, take a breath in, and then return back to a natural curve. Inhale again, here comes another bridge. Squeeze those cheeks, press into those feet, lifting the hips, kind of opening and lengthening the hip area. Stay to take a breath, and let's make sure the knees aren't too wide. On your exhale, we're gonna lower the pelvis and hit that tailbone again one more time, taking a breath. Pelvis imprint, so the ribs and the hips move towards each other. We stay, taking a breath in, trying to keep that belly button drawing in slightly. On your breath out, we return back to your natural curve in your low back. Inhale, and another squeeze of those cheeks. Exhaling, lift that pelvis, reach the knees away out over the toes. Take a breath in, and an exhale, returning it back down slowly. So we're gonna go back into that tilt, hold onto your imprint. Let's move the arms out to the sides of the room. Pausing here, we're gonna breathe in, bring one knee up at a time, breathing out. So your goal is to maintain that connection of the low back on the mat. Take another breath, and an exhale, back up with the second leg. So if this is too much work, take one foot down. We're gonna breathe in, and very slowly move the knees to one side without going too far. We're gonna try to anchor that opposite shoulder. So this drawing down of this opposite shoulder, staying connected to the mat. Breathe in, and let's move back to center. Exhale, inhale again. Let's go the other direction. Breathe out. So a little bit of spinal rotation here. Anchoring this side, reach those fingers away. Inhale and exhale. So you gauge how far you go in that little bit of rotation. The pelvis is lifting on one side of the hip. We're going back to that first side, taking a breath while we stay there. Exhale, returning back to your center. One more time, breath in. And then an exhale on your movement. Really keep that shoulder down. Breathe in there, and then an exhale to return it back. Take another breath, and let's take the feet back to the mat, returning one foot at a time, and allow the pelvis to return to its natural curve. Take the hands behind the head. Very simple little abdominal curl. Taking a breath, and exhale, we're just gonna flex up. So I'm not gonna concern myself with neutral spine or moving that kind of that pelvis. So you allow, that freedom a little bit in the lower back, kind of comes away from the mat as we go down, and breath out, maybe it connects, but nothing is forced, nothing is extreme. We're just breathing out, we're waking up those obliques, those flexors of the spine, obliques and rectus abdominis. And let's breathe out as we come up, and an inhale to return down. And again, exhale and inhale. Last four, breathing out Inhale, opening, exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. And last one. Let's pause up here. So now I do have my low back connected to the mat. We're gonna pause here, holding on to the weight of the head. Can you bring one leg up? Hold on to your lower back on the mat, and can you bring the second leg up? So this is a little more challenging. If you need to take the head and shoulders down, do so. Take a breath. We're gonna toe tap one toe at a time. Exhale and inhale, and the other. Exhale. So you're stabilizing the spine here, holding the upper body in flexion. You're holding imprint in the low back. You're only going to do 4 more, and back. Exhale, 3. Inhale up. Exhale, 2. You're doing what you can. Last time. Good. Let's pause and then take the feet back to the mat. We're going to take a breath and then return back to that natural curve. Good. Let's move on to our front. We're going to move a little bit into breaststrokes or extension, where we get a little bit of strengthening into the postural muscles. If you have low back issues, you're going to separate the legs, but I want them reaching and alive. So squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quadriceps. Take those elbows back just a little bit bent 90 degrees and tighten up your belly against your surface of the floor, mat, or wherever you're lying. We're going to breathe in here and kind of move the shoulders away from the ears and lift up the breastbone. So you're kind of stretching the breastbone away. Breathe in here and an exhale to come on back down. Let's do that again. Inhale first, shoulders down, exhale, coming up, finding that length from your toes to your chest. Breathe in and an exhale to return. Let's do that quicker. So come on up on your breath in. And this is, again, not extreme. Let's exhale and lower. So legs are reaching, glutes are on. Inhale, lift. And think more about your chest lifting than your chin. So we don't want the neck to be extended. We want it kind of looking forward and down. Come on up again. And then back. Let's do one more. And let's pause up here. I want you to find a comfortable position. It's not really, really high, so you're holding on and those muscles are working. We're going to breathe in and lift the arms. And just pause here. Abs are on, legs are reaching, take a breath. The arms are going to straighten out to the sides, exhaling, and then inhale to come back. Let's do that again. Exhale, reach, and inhale. So you're sustaining the body in space and just doing what you can. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out and breathe in. Last 4. You don't have to be high. 3, keep those legs reaching. Abs on. 2. And the last one, breathe out and breathe in, arms bent, lower the arms, lower the upper body. We're gonna come back into a shell stretch. If your knees allow you to move into this position here, or your shell stretch can be on your side if you don't like kneeling, or as well, it can be here. So as long as you just get a little bit of stretch out for that, that's fine. You can even curl up and hold on. So let's move ourselves back to this side and into that natural curve again. We're going to do a little bit of challenge for the abdominals here in flexion. We're going to move that pelvis back into imprint, hold on to that low back connection to the mat, and let's bring the knees up again, back to tabletop we call it, and bring the knees and feet together. Drop your chin and take a breath, and then flex up, exhaling. So this does not have to be a high flexion, and you can always come back down. So holding on to this. This is one leg at a time. We're going to breathe in, and it's just an extension of one leg. Exhaling, and then inhale to return, and exhale, and inhale back and reach. So as that leg moves away, you are fighting to maintain that connection of the pelvis and the low back on the mat. Breathe out, breathe in. Exhale. This is not quick, this is controlled. And those legs don't have to go real low. Maybe they're going more to the ceiling. And if you want more challenge, they lower closer to the mat. Last 4 and back. Exhale, 3. Inhale for 2. And last 1. Inhale, come on back. Head goes down, back down. Good. Separate the knees and then move into a little bit of a frog stretch. You can roll the ankles and hold on to that. So what I'd like you to do is rock side to side. Get a little bit of massage through that lower back and release a little bit through there. So you're going to take another breath and then feet come back to the mat, exhaling and return your spine back to neutral. So now we're going to move on to our side. We're going to move into a little bit of side planking and a little bit of rotation. If you have issues with your shoulder, you can do this against a wall. You can do this also with an elbow on a chair or a counter so that you're a little bit more vertical, which is a little less intense. I'd like you to take yourself into a straight line. So your shoulders, hips, and knees are all in one straight line. So we're going to come up to this position here. And this shoulder is going to do a lot of work. So we're going to keep that shoulder blade down the back. And this arm is going to reach to the ceiling. If you wanted to challenge a little bit more, the legs can be straight. So what we're doing is simply lowering that hip area to the mat and then exhale, lifting it away. So we're trying to just move the spine now in a side flexion, especially that lower back region, and maintaining this nice side lateral position, lower and lift. Maybe inhale as we lower and exhale to lift the waistline. Hip drops, hip lifts. We do 4 and back, 3, back, last 2, exhale, last 1, and exhale. This arm is going to reach out in front, and we're going to kind of rotate it towards the floor, touching it if you can, and then let's reach it all the way back up to the ceiling. So now the spine is slightly rotating. We're going to keep the hips fairly still. How does that feel on that bottom shoulder? We're almost finished. Breathe out as you lower. Inhale to come on back. And again, exhaling, tap, and inhaling back. Reach that fingertip to the ceiling. Last 2, and back up. Last 1. And inhale, lift, lower the arm, lower the hips. Very simple, very quick, not too many repetitions. Let's try the other side. Notice that one arm or one shoulder definitely kind of feels better than the other as we move through. Long straight line, knees, hips, and shoulder. This, pull that shoulder blade down, keep this shoulder away from your ear, and let's bring it up into that side plank. So if this is where you want to stay, then you don't have to go anywhere else. You know, we really want to be aware of that we're not rotating too much here, especially through that lower back. Let's lift that arm to the ceiling, and lowering the hip and back up. So nothing extreme. This is not huge range of motion. It's small, little drop, little lift. Inhale and exhale, or just breathe naturally. That spine is nice and straight, nice and long, from the crown of your head right down to your tail. And we're adding a little side bend. Down and lift, lower and lift. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's pause here. Nice straight line on your side. Reach that arm forward. So you're going to rotate and just touch the fingertips. And let's bring it all the way back up to the ceiling. So this is just minimal rotation, tapping, kind of rotating the chest to the floor a little, opening, rotate, shoulder work through that bottom arm for sure. Let's do 4 more. We're there. Hang on. 4. And back up to reach. Slow and steady on this core training. Nothing too quick, too soon. Last 2. Good, and the last one. And then back up. Let's lower the arm and lower the hips. Nice side positioning. So we're trying to get the spine in all directions. It can flex, it can extend, it can move side laterally or lateral flexion, and it can also rotate. So that's the big thing about a healthy spine, is it has healthy movement and strength and flexibility in all those directions. Moving on to our hands and knees. And again, this is where you can move into this position if you don't like kneeling and having a lot of weight onto your hands. So I'm going to move into this. I call this 4-point position. I want the knees kind of directly under the hips and the hands directly under the shoulders. If you find that your wrists are bothersome with weight bearing, you can elevate the angle at the heel of the hand. That should help a little bit. So that's an option for anybody that doesn't like a whole lot of weight bearing. I want you to imagine a nice hot cup of coffee on your lower back. Your toes are tucked under, even your knees are apart. Let's slide those shoulder blades down the back and pull that navel into your spine. We're going to breathe in. And we're lifting the knees an inch without disturbing that coffee. So as you breathe out, can you lift the knees just to hover? We're going to breathe in here and then exhale to lower. We call this leg pull front prep. Take another breath. Slide the shoulders into position, belly lifts, and then exhale to lift the knees. Inhale to pause, and then exhale to lower. Do it twice more. Breathe in. Shoulder blades set, belly lifts, exhaling. Nice long neck here. Don't drop that chin too low. With a breath to stay. How's that hot coffee? Hasn't spilled on your back. Has it? Exhale, lower the knees. One more inhale. Shoulders are down, belly lifts again, and exhale. Now let's hold this. Can you maintain this position? Nice flat back, low back feels good. If you need to and you find any strain in the low back, maybe tuck the tail under a little bit. Otherwise, keeping it nice and straight. Count 10 seconds with me and breathe. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, taking a breath. and then exhale to lower. Let's move back into a shell stretch. You can point the toes, tuck them under, and round the spine. The last exercise here, going into kind of a reverse rotation, back to that nice natural straight spine. I'm going to take the arm that's closest to the screen, and you can have the fingertips on the back of the head or even at your forearm or your temple. You're going to breathe in here, and you're going to rotate towards the screen and lift that elbow and almost a little bit of a push into that arm, and then inhale, come back. So exhale again, adding a little rotation and extension to the spine. Exhaling, open that elbow, look underneath it, inhale to lower, and then exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. These are so simple. You know, these exercises are so simple, but really starting with some base healthy movement. Exhale and inhale. Let's do 2 more. And inhale, lower, and the last one. Exhale and inhale. Let's pause and do the other side. Everything's set again. Other hand, fingers to the temple or to the back of the head with a breath. And here's your reverse direction. So you're gonna lift that elbow, look underneath as much as you can, and inhale. So that arm on the mat is adding a little bit of pressure, pushing you away. Inhale to lower. And again, exhale, lift that elbow, look underneath. Inhale, lower. Where do those shoulders want to go? They want to creep up. Try to draw them down as you do this. Let's do 3 more. Exhale and inhale. And 2 and inhale. Last one. Exhale and inhale. Take that hand down to the mat and give me 1 cat stretch. So curl the tail, flex the entire spine, dangle the head, opening up that back to the ceiling. We take a breath and return it all back to that nice flat spine, straight, lengthen the neck. Good, quick. Spinal mobility, base movements, starting to build on some of that strength in all directions. And if you want more, do the video twice. So you're getting a little bit more work, a little bit more endurance for all of those muscles. Hope you enjoy. That's week 3. So let me know how you're doing and how it works out for you. So good luck with it.